Is that ready? So Jim, and let's do two movie reviews in one video, which are for the first two 18 films I saw, and those are for Pulp Fiction and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Pulp Fiction is the first, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the second to last film by Quentin Tarantino. He's going to have done 10 movies, where he's going to have directed 10 movies. At the moment, he's directed 9. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is his most recent film, but I think he's going to make one more, and that is it. So I guess that being said, that this is going to be a non-spoiler review for both of them, and let's get started with Pulp Fiction, as that one came out first. It was also the first 18 film I saw as well, so I watched that a few days after my 18th birthday. That being said, let's get started with the good for the film. So I thought that John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, and Bruce Willis, I thought they had very great characters, in my opinion, and I also thought that um, Uma Thurman's character did a very good job as well. And I also thought the relationship between John and Uma's character, and John and Samuel's character was done very well. I thought that was very cool in my opinion, and I thought the casting for the film was amazing. I also found the story quite unique and interesting to me. Although there was not much of it, the action was done for very great and put you on the edge of your seat when the action came on. I also thought the music was very fun and enjoyable and suited the film in my opinion. And I thought the guy from the Direct Line advert was in the film, and it was a pleasant surprise for me because I didn't know this was the film he was in. I thought he was in The Godfather he was in, but no, it was in Pulp Fiction, and it was a pleasant surprise to see that guy. I don't know what his name is in real life. And now let's move on to the bad for the film. So I thought there were a few parts I found confusing and hard to follow. That's probably just me. I wasn't paying attention enough in some of the scenes. There was also a handful of scenes I had to skip because of how dark and sexual it was getting. I watched it with my mum and my dad, and we all decided that there were some parts we had to skip. Um, and I also thought there were some parts I found a little boring as well. But overall, this is a very good film to watch, and I'd recommend it as long as you're 18 or over. And I would rate the film a 7.5 out of 10. And that is it for the review of Pulp Fiction. Now let's do the movie review for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is the ninth and second to last film Quentin Tarantino is going to do before he retires, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So let's talk about the good for the film. So I thought the casting with Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and there's some other great actors who are in the film as well, and I thought they all did very good performances. Um, I also thought the characters felt quite real. They felt like real people, which I still really liked. And I also thought that Margot Robbie's character, I didn't feel like she was in the film enough, but what we did get from her, I thought she was quite good. And the story for the film, there wasn't really much of one, but I still thought it was quite entertaining. Um, and I really liked all these 60s movie scenes, and they always put on a smile on my face every time they were on. I probably preferred them to the actual story of the film. Um, I was not expecting the ending to be what it was, and I thought it ended on a satisfying note for me. I also really liked the music choice in the film as well. There were some songs I really love. But now let's move on to the bad for the film. So I thought it was very slow in parts, not much of a story for the film, a bit boring in several parts of the movie for me. But overall, it was a little bit. I was a little bit underwhelmed with the film. I was expecting a little bit more, but I still thought it was quite enjoyable nonetheless. I don't think it. I don't think Quentin Tarantino, for me personally, is one of my favorite directors. I just well, I don't know. It's because I've seen his best films, and I didn't think they were as great as I was expecting. So I might watch more of his films, and he might end up being one of my favorite directors. At the moment, he's not as great as I was expecting. It's just for me personally. But I would recommend this film for people who like dramas, 60s movie nostalgia stuff, and Quentin Tarantino films. If you enjoyed them, you definitely enjoy this film. And I would rate it a 7 out of 10. And that's it for the movie review for Pulp Fiction and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for a Crash Bandicoot video. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao.